Right. Now, today we are discussing about the prospectus. Prospectus. Right. Prospectus. Before considering the term prospectus, we can identify a very simple example. That is, now there are two persons, A and B. Now, suppose between these two parties, in order to form a valid contract, right, there are some elements to be present. The main element is offer. That is the proposal made by one party to another, and the other party to the contract has to accept the offer. So that is known as acceptance. Then valid contract form, once the offer is by the other party, valid contract form between A and B. That's the simple way. Right. Now we can identify one element as an offer, and another one is an acceptance. Right. Now when we consider simple examples, now suppose A informs B that he is willing to sell his motor car for 100,000 rupees. So this proposal made by A to B is known as offer. That is an offer. Then what happened? B has accepted the offer made by the other party. So that is known as acceptance. Right? He agrees to purchase the car for 100,000 rupees. So that is known as acceptance. The contract form between these two parties. Like offer and acceptance. Two main conditions, two main elements of a contract. Then another example, in some instances, we can identify additional feature. That is, now suppose A is a shopkeeper. He displayed goods in his shop window. I have taken this example. Now, suppose A is a shopkeeper. He displayed a shirt in his shop window or the showroom with price mark 3,000 rupees. Right? So we can identify this as first step, displaying goods in the shop window. Right? Then what happened? There's another person, B. Suppose B wants to purchase this shirt. Then actually what is the step to be followed by B? That is second step. Right? Second step is B entered the shop by tendering 3,000 rupees, right? By giving 3,000 rupees, B demands the goods, right? So we can identify second step is customers demand. Customers demand. Right? Customers demand. Then what happened? Customers demand. And thereafter, the third step is, right, shopkeeper, right, accepts the money from the customer. Right? So the customer is tendering money and the shopkeeper accepts the money. So acceptance of the money. That is the third step. It means actually the shopkeeper agrees to sell the shirt for 3,000 rupees. Right? So there is meeting of two minds, both parties, right, agree to sell and buy this item or the shirt or goods, whatever, right, for this consideration. That is the contract. So we can identify. Then once the money is accepted by the shopkeeper, it's valid contract formed between A and B. Right? So now when we consider a company, right now our topic is prospectus. In a company, basically limited liability companies, right? Limited liability companies, we divide that into two. One is public and private. Right. Now, if it is a private company, the main feature of the private company, according to the articles of association, private company cannot invite the public to purchase the shares. So, in simple terms, private company cannot offer shares to the public, right? They cannot offer, the most suitable word is invite the public. Cannot invite the public. Cannot invite the public to purchase the shares. That is the main feature in a private company. Cannot invite the public to purchase the shares. Right? But when we consider a public company, right, they are entitled to invite the public to purchase the shares. Right? That is the main feature when we compare in public and private company. Right? If it is a public company, they can invite the public to purchase the shares. Right? Now, how public company can invite the public to purchase the shares? Again, actually, this company has to adopt 3 steps, right? Same as here we have discussed, right? Now, in this example, second example, when we compare the first example and second example, right? In this example, only 2 steps we can identify. One person proposed to sell the motor car and other party accept. But here we can identify 3 steps. Displaying goods in a shop window, then thereafter demand the goods, and the shopkeeper accept the money from the customer. 3 steps we can identify. In a company, in order to raise the share capital, right, they can invite the public to purchase the shares, right? Then actually that company has to take these 3 steps, right? So, in order to invite the public to purchase the shares, first of all, the company has to publish an advertisement in a newspaper, right? So, that is the first step that we can identify, right? Advertisement published by the company, right? To invite the public to purchase the shares. So, here also, right? By advertisement, the company invite the public to purchase the shares. Here also, shopkeeper invite the public to purchase this shares. Right? Here, by way of an advertisement, public company, invite the public to purchase the shares. They publish an advertisement in a newspaper or a magazine. Right? By that way, they invite the public to purchase the shares. Then thereafter, what happens? Now here, the second step is customers' demand. Same as here, after considering the advertisement, prospective shareholders, right, made application, right, to the company. Right? So the second step is application. Right? He applied for the shares. Prospective shareholders apply for the shares. That is known as application. Then after the application, what happened? Application is accepted by the company. Right? Application is accepted. Right? Accepted by the company by allotting shares to the applicant. Allotting shares. allotment. So that is the third step, allotment. Company can accept the application of the prospective shareholders by allotting shares. After the shares were allotted to the applicant, then the applicant will be a shareholder of the company. Then his name is entered on the shareholders register, right? Then after he became the shareholder of the company, then binding contract form between shareholder and the company, right? Contract form. Here as the contract form, right? So we can identify in a company, right? There are three steps. One is advertisement, right? Publish an advertisement in the newspaper by inviting the public to purchase shares. Then thereafter, prospective shareholders apply for the shares. That is known as application. And after the application, company allotted shares to the applicant. That is known as allotment. So three steps we can identify. Right. So here this advertisement is treated as invitation, right? Invitation. Invitation. In this example, first one, displaying goods in the shop window is also treated as an invitation. Same as here. And the customer's demand. So here the application made by the prospective shareholder, that is treated as the offer. That is the proposal made by the applicant to purchase the shares. That is the offer. And the offer is accepted by allotment. So this is accepted. Right? So three steps we can identify: invitation, offer, acceptance. Right? So in a company, invitation.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, last week we did that part.
Last one.
Prospectus and those.
Prospectus.
We did last week.
Last. Like last. Like that, okay. Right. So that is the acceptance. Then three steps you can identify: invitation, offer, acceptance. So invitation, right? The company invite the public to purchase the shares by way of advertisement. So this advertisement is treated as, this advertisement is known as prospectus. Right? Again, any advertisement may be published in a newspaper or a magazine, whatever, right? Or it may be a circular or whatever the thing, right? Published by the company by inviting the public to purchase shares. So that advertisement or invitation, we can say, invitation is treated as the prospectus. Prospectus. Like that, we guide a right. Then by this way, company can raise its share capital. Right. Then there are actually our next topic is capital. Right. Capital. Right. Now, when we consider the concept capital, right? Capital we can identify. Capital means funds. Funds available in the company. Partners. Right? Capital can be classified as share capital and loan capital. Loan capital, or we name it as debenture.
So with debenture comes the figure.
Again, for the figure, but share capital and debenture, or loan capital, right? So here, share capital, we can divide it into two, that is, we can divide as ordinary shares and preference shares. Preference shares. Then thereafter, preference shares we can divide it into several categories, right? One is convertible, non-convertible, right? Convertible, non-convertible. Cumulative, non-cumulative, right? Then redeemable, yeah. Redeemable and redeemable and irredeemable. Irredeemable. So irredeemable shares are known as perpetual shares. Perpetual shares. Right? So these are the classifications of preference shares. Right? Convertible, non-convertible. Cumulative, non-cumulative, redeemable, irredeemable, but I have mentioned like this. Redeemable, irredeemable. Right? Right. Now, we can consider ordinary shares with preference shares. Now, ordinary shares, when we consider the ordinary shares, right, they are the real owners of the company. Owners of the company. Right? They shall enjoy, they will receive, right, the residential profits after paying preference shareholders and creditors. Right? So if any amount remains, it may be distributed among the ordinary shareholders. Right? Because they are the real owners. Right? Or we can, another name given to ordinary shares, equity shares. Equity shareholders. Or ordinary shareholders. Right? Then when we compare ordinary shares with preference shareholders have, right, these shareholders have preference over the ordinary shareholders for receiving for two things. Preference is given to these shareholders, right, than the ordinary shareholders for two things. Right. The first one is for receiving dividends. Dividends. For receiving dividends and being paid off the capital in the event of liquidation. Understand? The preference is given to these shareholders, right, over the ordinary shareholders for two things. One is for receiving dividends. First, company has to pay dividends to preference shareholders. Then after that, if any amount remains in the company can pay dividends to ordinary shareholders. Right? So for receiving dividends, they will have preference. And being paid off the capital in the event of liquidation. Right now, what happened actually in the liquidation, there is again, company has to adapt particular process. That is, first company has to collect all the assets of the company. Right? In the liquidation process, company has to collect the assets, realize them, sell them, and out of the proceeds, company has to first settle the creditors, revenge holders, creditors, and thereafter preference shareholders. Right? First, creditors, winding up expenses, right, and preference shareholders, and if any amount remain in the company after settling these, right, creditors, then the winding up expenses and preference shareholders, if any amount remain in the company, right, it will be distributed among the shareholders, ordinary shareholders, be distributed among the ordinary shareholders. Understood? So that is the way, but that is the step, that is the procedure to be adapted in the winding up of a company. Right? So here, preference shareholders, right, will receive a preference for receiving capital, right, for receiving capital in the event of liquidation, right. So they must give the priority to settle the capital and the ordinary shareholders. First, we have to settle the preference shareholders' capital, then thereafter, the company has to settle the ordinary shareholders. That's the meaning of preference, right? The first choice to be given to these for dividends and paid off the capital in the event of liquidation. First choice to be given to these shareholders. Then after that, ordinary shareholders. Right? That is the meaning, right? So, cumulative, convertible. The first one, convertible one. Convertible and non-convertible. Convertible means these shareholders, preference shareholders, can convert these preference shares into ordinary shares. Convert into ordinary shares. Right? Ordinary shares. Ordinary shares. So that type of preference shares are known as convertible. Right? Non-convertible means these shareholders have no such right. Convert the preference shares into ordinary shares. They are not entitled to convert. Right? Non-convertible. Cumulative means we have discussed. Cumulative means they are entitled to receive dividends on cumulative basis. On cumulative basis. And it means in a particular financial year, the company unable to pay dividends due to lack of profits. Then, before paying the ordinary shareholders, before paying the dividends to ordinary shareholders, company has to pay the arrears of dividends to these shareholders. Right? They are entitled to receive the dividends on cumulative basis. Non-cumulative means they don't have such right. Right? They are not entitled to receive dividends on cumulative basis. Understood? So there is cumulative and non-cumulative. Then thereafter, this one, redeemable share. Redeemable. Right? Here, company can redeem its redeemable shares on 3 options. There are 3 options. On the option of the company. On the option of the company. On the option of the company. We really put article on the option of the company. The option of the company. On the option of the company. And company can redeem the redeemable shares on the option of the shareholder. On the option of the shareholder. The shareholder requests to, right, redeem the shares. Right, on the option of the shareholder. And the third way is on the date specified in the articles. On the date specified in the articles of association. Right, we can identify 3 options. On the option of the company, right? On the option of the shareholders, and on the day specified in the articles of association. So, according to the provisions contained in the article, it says preference shareholders to be redeemable preference shares to be redeemed on a particular day. Then company has to redeem the redeemable share, right? On the option of the on the day mentioned in the articles of association. Right. So we can identify 3 options. Irredeemable shareholders cannot be redeemed. Right. So until the winding up of the company, this type of shares, right, remain with the company. Right. Until the winding up, irredeemable shares will remain in the company. Right. We cannot redeem. Generally, we cannot redeem. Irredeemable. That's why we name them as perpetual shares. Perpetual shares. Understood. Then thereafter, the most important point in here, right? That is the capital. The important thing is there are 3 terms used with regard to capital. Right? One is known as reduction. Reduction. And redemption. Redemption and repurchase. 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 Three words, three terms we use here. Right? Reduction, retention, and repurchase. Right? So we can consider these three terms. Right? First of all, now already we have discussed about the redemption. Right? What do you think by redemption? Redemption means redeemable shares, right? Redeemed by the company on the option of the company, on the option of the shareholder, on the date specified in the articles of association. There is known as redemption. Redemption. Right? So these three, right, are known as redemption. Redemption. Understood? Italy Patagata lazy. And then another pattern. Right. Then repurchase. Repurchase means buyback. Repurchase. Right? Company can repurchase the shares. Right? Repurchase means, right? Repurchase means right? This one. Right? Number one. Right? Then this one. Repurchase of irredeemable shares. Number two. Right? And here, ordinary shares, equity shares, right? Repurchase or buyback ordinary shares of the company. That is number three. Right? Buyback the ordinary shares. Right? By the company. Right? Buyback the irredeemable shares, perpetual shares. Buyback the irredeemable shares and redeem the redeemable shares on the option of the company. So these three, one, two, three. Right? So these three known as repurchase. Right? Repurchase. Right? Redeemable preference shares purchased by company on its option, right? On the option of the company. Second one means buyback the irredeemable share. Irredeemable share. And the third one means buyback the ordinary shares. These three, right, known as repurchase. Now, generally, ordinary shares and irredeemable shares cannot be redeemed. I cannot be buyback, not redeemed, buyback. But, right, for the interest of the company, according to the provisions contained in the Companies Act, it says, for the interest of the company can buy back these shares, ordinary shares and irredeemable shares. This one, right, redeemable shares already redeemed. But only thing is, on the option of the company, redeem the redeemable shares. Right? It amounts to repurchase. Repurchase. So these three are named as repurchase of shares or buyback. Buyback. Understood? Buyback. Right? Redeemable shares can be redeemed on three options. Repurchase means, right? redeemable shares redeemed on the option of the company and buy back the ordinary or irredeemable shares. Right. That is known as repurchase. Right. Now reduction. Reduction means right redemption or redemption, this one or this one. Right. Redemption or repurchase amounts to reduction. So actually reduction we can divide into two as reduction, so redemption or repurchase. That is the meaning of reduction. Reduction of stated capital. That is redemption of shares, right? Redemption of shares. Right? And repurchase of shares. Repurchase. Repurchase means these three. Redemption of redeemable shares on the option of the company. Altogether, we can identify as reduction. Right? So actually, this one is already included to this. So apart from that one, these two we can identify under here. Right? This one and this one. And thereafter, under repurchase, we have already included this one. And other two. In the shares are included. Right? Altogether, there is reduction. Reduction of stated capital. That is our concept. For the redemption, we can consider these two, repurchase, this one, and ordinary shares and irredeemable shares. Then thereafter, another concept that is dividend. Right? Dividend. Dividend. In order to identify the dividend, the concept of dividends, right? We can consider another term. It is known as distribution, right? So before comes to distribution, we can consider, right? Now, in a company, right? Company can utilize its profits on three options. Company can utilize its profits on three options. What are the? First one is company can make reserves. Company can make reserves. Another one is company can make reserves and payment of dividend. And the third way, company can utilize the profits to redemption and repurchase. Redemption. Redemption and repurchase. Redemption and repurchase. Right? Company can utilize its profits on three options. Company can make reserves and pay dividends and redemption or repurchase. Redemption. So in order to redemption, company has to use the profits earned by the right company or repurchase the shares. So company has to pay money to in order to buy that shares. Right. So on these options, company can utilize the profit. Right. Now, out of these three options, we can identify that there's another concept that is known as distribution. Distribution. Distribution of profits. Distribution means outflow. Right? Money or property transfer to shareholders, right? Or outflow, that is known as distribution, right? So here we can identify two distributions, right? Now this one is not a distribution. Making reserves, the money within the company, it is not go out, right? Money does not go out, reserves, right? Therefore, it is not distribution. But these two are treated as distribution of profits, right? So, distribution means, right? Distribution means, right? Distribution means transfer of money or property. Money or property. To the shareholders, right? Except right issue. Right issues. Right? Transfer of money or property to the shareholders, except right issues. What do you mean by right issues? Yes, right issue means company without paying dividends, company can issue company shares to the shareholders. That is known as right issue, right? Company shares issued to the shareholders instead of dividends, right? Need not to pay money, right? Company declares, no, we are giving shares to you instead of money or dividends, right? That is known as right issue, right? So issuing company shares to the shareholders of the company. Company shares issued to the shareholders of the company. So we have to remove that. That is not a distribution, right? It's not a distribution. Other than this one, transfer of money or property to the shareholder is known as distribution. Okay. So here we can identify what is dividend. Now, when we consider these three options, right? Distribution or money goes out, right? Here, dividend by payment of dividend, redemption and reduction. Because of redemption or reduction. Right? Then we can identify the dividend. Dividend means this one. Dividend means distribution of profits. Distribution of profits other than redemption or repurchase. That is the definition given in the company stand. Right? Dividend means dividend distribution of profits except redemption and repurchase. That is known as the payment of dividend. So money, right, or any property can be transferred, right, as dividend. But this is not a distribution, making reserves, money that remain in the company because, right, it will not go out, right. So distribution. And then that is the concept, right? So we consider three main terms. One is reduction, redemption, repurchase. And another concept we have discussed as dividend. Right. Now, another very important thing that is this one. Now we can identify altogether four terms. Dividends, right? Dividends, reduction, redemption, repurchase. Four. Right. Then Companies Act says, in order to pay dividends, in order to reduce the stated capital, right? In order to redeem the redeemable shares or repurchase the shares, right? On these three occasions, company must meet the solvency test. Understood? Solvency test. Solvency test. Right? Company shall meet the solvency test. Without meeting the solvency test, company cannot do this. Cannot do. Right? Payment of dividend, repurchase, reduction of rejection. Cannot be done. What do you mean by solvency test? How we can check the whether company able to meet the solvency test or not. So we have to consider two conditions. The first one is we have to identify whether the company is able to pay its debts in its ordinary course of business. Right? Okay. The second condition is we have to check whether the reserves available in the company. Reserves. Or actually here it says the value of the assets, total value of the assets equal to stated capital plus reserves plus liability. That this is the formula, right? So here, under second condition, we have to check whether the value of the assets is greater than stated capital plus liability. That's value of the asset is greater than these two. Like in order to greater than these two, the company must have reserve. Understood? Right. Reserves. Right? Value of the assets greater than these two. So in order to greater than these two, the company must have reserves. So straight away we can say we have to check with the company. The company has reserves. Then company can meet the purpose. Right. And there is another quick term, right? Then thereafter, another concept, another important thing that is now reduction. When we consider the reduction, right? This one, reduction of stated capital. Right. Now, when we consider the reduction of stated capital, redemption or repurchase amounts to reduction. So if there is a reduction of stated capital, reduction in order to reduce the stated capital of the company has to pass which type of resolution? We have discussed under resolution, special resolution. Special resolution of the shareholders. At a general meeting, company has to pass a special resolution. Special resolution means the resolution which is passed by majority of 75% votes at a meeting after giving not less than 15 working days notice. Not less than 15 working days notice to be given. Understood? So here notice to be given to the shareholders. Right? With regard to the meeting, AGM or EGM, notice to be given to the shareholders. Right? Not less than 15 working days notice to be given to the shareholders. Then after meeting, at the meeting, after calling the meeting, at the meeting, the resolution to be passed by majority of 75% of votes. That is from a special resolution. If there's a reduction, there's another requirement. That is, before calling the meeting to pass the special resolution, right? 60 working days actually, right? 60 working days before calling the meeting to pass the special resolution. Right? 60 working days before calling the meeting to pass the special resolution, company has to give a public notice. Public notice. So this notice is given to whom? Public. Right? This is given to the shareholder. So first to the personal address, notice can be communicated. But here, public notice to be given if there is a reduction. So 60 working days before calling the meeting to pass the special resolution to approve the reduction, the company has to give a public notice. How company can give the public notice? Yes. What is the way? It is given to right world at large, entire world, or country at large. How we can give the public notice to country at large? Okay. We have discussed it, after incorporation within 30 working days of its incorporation, company shall give public notice. Give public notice, right? By publishing an advertisement in a daily newspaper in 3 languages, right? So same day, company has to give public notice, right? So great advertisement to be published in 3 languages, Sinhala, Tamil language, right? So public notice to be given. That is another. This is actually right in order to write notice to the any person who is interested in the company, then they can get a suitable relief because of the reduction. And the public notice to be given. Then there's another requirement mentioned in the companies that is sometimes the company, this is the third one, company may engage into a contract with creditor. A written contract, written contract may be made between company and the creditor, right? So according to the contract, right, company has taken, company has given an undertaker, right, that the company is not reduce the stated capital by particular amount, right, without getting the consent of the creditor. Right? Suppose there's a contract made between company and the creditor according to the agreement, according to the terms of the contract, company agreed not to reduce the stated capital by particular amount without getting the consent of the creditor. Right? Then company cannot violate this contract. Suppose if the company has violated these terms contained in the contract with creditor, then such reduction to be treated as void. Company said then it is to be treated as void. The company cannot violate the provisions contained in this contract. Right? If the company has violated that, reduction to be treated as void. So I think we can identify this provision is introduced to the Companies Act in order to give protection to creditors. Right? So there is another requirement to be followed in order to reduce the stated capital. And basically we can identify 3 steps to be taken. Special resolution to be passed. Not less than 15 working days notice to given to the shareholder, every shareholder. And public notice to be given on publishing an advertisement in the newspaper. And company, if company engage into a contract with creditor not to reduce the stated capital without getting the consent of the creditor, then company cannot violate that agreement, cannot breach the contract. If the company has breached the contract, then that reduction to be treated as void. Right? So these are with regard to capital. So I think it's basically the right? So share capital will be divided as ordinary preference, ordinary or equity shares and preference shareholders like this, right? There are several categories we can identify. Cumulative, convertible, redeemable, irredeemable, etc. Now here also, when we consider the debentures also classified as convertible and non-convertible. Non-convertible. And another classification that is redeemable and irredeemable. Irredeemable. Redeemable and irredeemable. So debentures we can classify. Convertible means amount can be converted into ordinary share. Right? Here actually A is going to convert the, we will consider now what is a debenture. Debenture is a regular document issued by the company acknowledging to pay a specific rate of interest for a specified period and pay the capital after maturity. So that document is known as debenture. So company has to settle the interest as well as the capital. That is the amount invested in the company. So convertible means that amount can be converted into ordinary shares. Ordinary shares. Convertible. That option is given to the debenture holder. Right? Either he can recover the interest and the capital or convert that amount into ordinary shares. Right? Ordinary shares. That is known as convertible. Non-convertible means that the debenture holders have no such right. They cannot convert the that amount to an ordinary share, like ordinary shares, right? So equity shares. Redeemable and irredeemable, another classification. But here it's redeemable. Redeemable and irredeemable. Now, retention means like this. Company can buy back it, but that is not the meaning here. Redeemable debenture means redeemable, irredeemable. Redeemable debenture means debentures which are issued against short-term loans. Short-term loan. Irredeemable means long-term loans. Right? They are repaid right, after a long period of time, or in the event of liquidation. Right? So that is known as irredeemable, long-term loan. Long-term loan. Understood. Right. So that is the meaning, redeemable, irredeemable, debentures. Right. But here, with regard to preference shares, that is not the meaning, right? Redeemable means company can buy back on the option of the, right? On the option of the company, on the option of the shareholder, right? Preference shareholder, right? On the date mentioned in the article. Right. And thereafter, from these, we have discussed somewhere the concept called preemptive right. Preemptive right. Preemptive right. Now, this preemptive right is recognized in this concept is recognized in Companies Act in section 51. Section 51. Right. 51. Right. Now, preemptive right means like we have discussed under the articles of association, right? Preemptive right means A is a owner of a property, right? Maybe a share, right? Movable or immovable owner, and B is another person. If B has a preemptive right over the property of A, then before A is selling this property to third party, the first choice to be given to B. If B refuses to purchase it, then A can sell it to C. So this right, which is given to B, is known as preemptive right. Preemptive right. Right? So actually, A is the owner, but that particular right is given to B, right? In relation to the property owned by A, right? That is known as preemptive right. So if B has preemptive right, if A wants to sell the property, the first choice to be given to B, right? If he refuses to purchase, then A can sell it to outside party, third party. So this is the right given to B. It is known as preemptive right. Now section 51, it says, the other company is going to issue shares, right, which are above or equal, which are of, the shares are of above or equal, the shares are of above or equal distributing and voting rights. Right? This voting and distribution. Voting. Distribution rights. Then the section 51 says, right, the first choice to be given to the existing shareholders in order to control, right, in order to maintain the voting and distribution right of the existing share. That's the same. So if the company is going to issue new shares, right, company is going to issue new shares which are of equal or above, right, voting and distribution right when comparing with the existing shareholders voting and distribution right. Then the first choice will be given to who? Existing shareholder. Existing shareholder. Then if they refuse to purchase, then company can send it to third party. So same right recognized under section 51. So this is known as preemptive right. Preemptive. Right? Same concept, but wordings are mentioned like that, right? Voting and distribution equal and above, right? Then the first choice to be given to the existing shareholders in order to regulate the voting and distribution right of the existing shareholders. The priority to be given to the existing shareholders. Right? It is recognized here. Section 50. Right. That is with regard to the capital. Shall we move on to the field? Well, okay. Waiting you know everything you want. Right? The debentures are not katagal. Features of a share, movable, transferable, and no nominal, no par value, right? And some rights given to the shareholder, one vote on a poll, right? And equal share in dividends paid by the company, and equal share in distribution of surplus assets. Automatically, surplus assets can. What is the meaning of surplus assets? In the winding up process, first company collect the assets, realize them, and settle the creditors and preference shareholders. Right? Then okay. This is then, yes, now after paying the creditors, right, and preference shareholders, we have the preference, right, to be paid off the capital in the event of liquidation. That's why we name them as preference shareholders. Then if any amount remain in the company, right, after paying the preference shareholders, any amount remain, that is known as surplus assets. It to be distributed among the ordinary shareholders or equity shareholders, because they are the real owners, right? They can receive the amount, right, remain in the company after settling the third part, right, creditors and preference shareholders. Right, so that is the way, and equal share in distribution of surplus assets, right? So these are some rights. Then thereafter, yes, the share capital of a company may consist of equity capital, equity or ordinary shares, both are same, right? And preference capital, preference shares, you can say, right? The preference shareholders have the preference over the equity shareholders for receiving dividends and being paid off capital in the event of liquidation. Right? So that is, we have already discussed. Right. Types of preference share capital: cumulative, non-cumulative. Right. The one type we have discussed: redeemable and irredeemable shares, convertible and non-convertible. Then thereafter, preemptive right, section 53, right, not 51, 53, recognize the preemptive right. Right here it says, subject to the provision contained in the articles where the company is going to issue shares which are of equal or above voting and distribution rights. Right, when comparing with existing shareholders, those shares shall be offered to existing shareholders in order to maintain the relative voting and distribution right of these existing shares. That is known as preemptive right. It is recognized under section 53. Then debenture capital. Debenture is a written document issued by a company acknowledging to pay a specific rate of interest for a specified period and pay the principal amount at the maturity date. That document is known as debenture. Types of debentures, right? Redeemable and irredeemable. Redeemable debentures are short-term debentures normally payable at a particular date. Short-term debentures issued against short-term loans. Redeemable. Irredeemable means long-term loans, right? Irredeemable debenture is issued against long-term loans, repayable after a long period or on winding up of the company. Convertible and non-convertible. That is converted into ordinary shares, right? Convertible debenture holder has option to either converting the loan with the interest or getting the loan converted into equity shares after maturity. Non-convertible shareholder have no such right. Right? And thereafter, differences between shares and debenture holders, like shareholders and debenture holders, consider these times. Then advantages and disadvantages of raising loan capital. Right? There are some points given there, right? Advantages of raising loan capital rather than share capital. Disadvantages of raising loan capital, you can go through, right? Then thereafter, another heading says stated capital. Stated capital is total of all amounts received by the company or due and payable to the company in respect of issue of shares and all some shares. Issue of shares. Total of all amounts, right, received or due and payable to the company, right? On issue of shares. නිකුත් කරනකොට ලැබිච්ච නිකුත් කරලා කොටස් නිකුත් කරලා ලබාගත් ප්‍රමාණය. Calls on shares can කැදවීම තියෙනවා. එතන calls can කැදවීම. පළමු හැරෙන්න තමයි. හැරෙන්න පළමු හැරෙන්න දෙවෙනි හැරෙන්න. ඒක calls කරන්න පුළුවන්. මෙන්න මෙච්චර කියවන්න මෙහෙම right here. ඒක අපේ solvency test. Right? The company shall deem to have satisfied the solvency test if it is able to meet following matters. Where the company able to pay its debts on debts when they become due in its ordinary course of business, and whether the value of the company's assets is greater than its liabilities and stated capital. So that formula is also given there. State assets equal to stated capital plus liabilities and reserves. So in order to the value of the assets to be greater than stated capital and liabilities, the company must have reserves. Company must have reserves. Then types of distribution. Right? So I have mentioned that distribution of profit. Company can utilize its profits on following options. Company can remain in the company. That is known as reserve. Right? Making reserves, known as reserves. Or company can distribute them to the shareholders by payment of dividends. The company can pay dividends and repurchase and redemption. Right? Redemption or repurchase. Right? That is the third option. So distribution means, right? Distribution means transfer of money or property other than the shares of the company to the shareholders. So issuing company shares to the shareholders is known as right issue. So except the right issue, transfer of property or money to the shareholders is known as distribution. Right? Then there are further clarified that incurring a debt for the benefit of the shareholders in relation to shares held by the shareholder by means of payment of dividend, redemption or acquisition. So actually distribution means payment of dividend, repurchase, redemption, these three. Right? Distribution. Then dividend means dividend is a distribution of profits of the company other than right, acquisition of its own shares or redemption of shares. Acquisition of its own shares or redemption of shares. Right? Acquisition of shares means repurchase or redemption. Right? Other than repurchase and redemption, distribution of profits to the shareholders is known as payment of dividend or dividend is known as dividend. Then reduction of stated capital. Right? එතනින් තමයි ඒක පටන් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ හරිද? right. එතනින් පටන් ගත්තා උදාහරණයක් පැටලෙනවා ඒකට. ඒක තමයි බලමු දැන් ගන්නවා. right. අපි redemption එකෙන් පටන් ගත්තා පැටලෙන්නේ. Reduction of stated capital. Right. As per section 59, the company may reduce its stated capital by passing special resolution of shareholders after publishing a public notice not less than 60 days before passing the resolution. 3 steps to be taken, right? Company can give public notice by publishing a notice in a daily newspaper in 3 languages as per section 2 of the Companies Amendment Act, right? So this is the way how company can give the public notice. Where the company agreed in writing with the creditor that a company will not reduce its stated capital below a specific amount without the prior consent of the creditor, and if the company reduces stated capital by reaching such an agreement, such reduction will be invalid and of no effect. Right? It is invalid of no effect. No effect. Right? It is to give some protection to the long-term credit. After the reduction, within 10 working days, the company shall give notice of reduction to the registered company by way of Form 8, right? By Form 8, company will have to inform it to the registered company. Then repurchase, right? Now here, acquisition, repurchase of shares, section 63, repurchase, right? Acquisition, so buyback, all are same, right? Repurchase means, right? Repurchase of irredeemable or ordinary shares, right? I told you there are three occasions included to the term repurchase, right? Buyback or repurchase of ordinary shares, repurchase of irredeemable shares, right? Irredeemable shares, perpetual shares. And the third one is redemption of redeemable shares at the option of the company, right? Redeemable shares can be redeemed by 3 ways on 3 options: on the option of the company, on the option of the shareholder, on the date mentioned in the articles. The first one amounts to repurchase. It is treated as repurchase, right? The company may repurchase its shares under section 64. According to the company may purchase its own shares if the articles authorized to do so with the approval of the board, right? The board must resolve as to the acquisition in the interest of the company. The consideration of the shares is a fair value according to the auditors. And the third one is the board is unaware of material non-disclosure to the shareholders with regard to the consideration of the shares. So some requirements here mentioned, right? Under section 67, this is the redemption of redeemable shares at the option of the company, right? By an order made by the court. Another way, right? Company can reduce the stated capital by an order of the court, right? So this is repurchase. So basically, we are considering acquisition of ordinary shares and redeem the redeemable shares on the option of the company. These two, right? Then, so further it is clarified by a diagram. That is redemption of shares. Now, shares we can divide it into 2, ordinary and preference. Preference shares we can divide into 2, redeemable and irredeemable. Company can redeem its redeemable shares in 3 ways, right? At the option of the company, right? At the option of the company, at the option of the holders of shares, at the option of the shareholder, right? Holders of share, and on the date specified in the articles, right? So, reduction, we move to page number 6, top of the page number 6, reduction of stated capital, reduction, repurchase or buyback, redemption. Under that, repurchase or redemption of shares amounts to reduction of stated capital. I don't know if reduction of stated capital. Reduction means redemption or repurchase. Redemption or repurchase. Under redemption, we can identify 3, and repurchase we can identify 2 ways, right? So thereafter, applicability of solvency test. The company must satisfy the solvency test to perform following activities, right? Reduction of stated capital, payment of dividend, right? Repurchase of shares, redemption of shares. So all 4 occasions, company has to meet the solvency test. Right? So that is the requirement. Understood. That is about the capital of the company. Renewable shares between the cost of shareholding is not the option of the shareholder. And on the page, mentioned yeah, we that we may reach for business. Company will be made another make that's what we do. Company or option of the company will make it over done. Acquisition. Again, Lanka, even assignment packaging make it capital like it. Okay. EXP है ना? EXP.
Oh, branch. Okay. It is the
picture like this, right? Stated capital. Stated capital of a company. It's a company. Stated capital of the company consists of ordinary shareholders, ordinary shares, and redeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares. The company has decided to reduce its stated capital. Stated capital. Redeem is, sorry, the company has decided to redeem its redeemable shares by 2%. 2%. And further, buy back its ordinary shares by 1%. Buy back. By 1%. However, the company has made a written agreement with XYZ Bank. Yes, a creditor. Then the contract made with the creditor, not to reduce its stated capital by 2%, not to receive by 2% without without having the consent of the creditor. Okay. Then another part mentioned here, another shareholder, right? This suppose among the shareholder of the company opposed to the reduction of stated capital and seek the relief even under the Companies Act. If the resolution is passed to reduce the stated capital of the company. So he is opposed to the reduction. Nothing really available to this person. Right? Summary is like this, there's a company. Stated capital of the company consists of ordinary shares and redeemable preferred shares. Company has to take, the company has taken a decision to reduce the redeemable shares by 2% and buy back the ordinary shares by 1%. And the agreement made with the creditor not to reduce, right? Not to reduce more than 2% without getting the consent of the creditor. It's an agreement. Not to reduce the stated capital by 2% without getting the consent of the creditor. And there's another shareholder who opposed to the reduction. Right? Ask what are the relief available to this shareholder. Right. Now, actually, we very simple now. Right? We can identify reduction, concept of reduction. It means that repurchase, to buy back ordinary shares or irredeemable shares. But here, no irredeemable shares. Buy back ordinary shares. And right, redeemable shares redeem may be redeemed on 3 days, right? On the option of the company, right? On the option of the shareholder, and on the date specified in the articles of association. Right now, here the company is going to reduce the stated capital, reduce the redeemable shares by 2%. Right? That is on the option of the company. The option of the person. Right? It is not on the option of the shareholders or on the date mentioned in the article. Therefore, the redeemable shares redeem on the option of the company. But now, in order to identify the repurchase, these are relevant. We need not to worry about that, right? Because now here, all of these two methods amounts to reduction of stated capital. Right? The company is going to redeem the redeemable shares on the option of the company and buy back the ordinary shares. Right? Altogether, we can identify 2% and 1%, altogether 3%. Company is going to reduce the stated capital by 3%. Right? That is reduction. Here, analyze the level reduction reduction means repurchase, redemption. This one is redemption or repurchase. Redemption or repurchase. Right? Repurchase means buy back ordinary shares. Right? Repurchase. buy back ordinary shares, right? No irredeemable shares, but here no irredeemable preference shares, right? And the second, so altogether three, but here we can identify this one is not available. Third way is company can repurchase, that is, redeem the redeemable shares on the redeemable shares. We have mentioned that, no? Redeemable shares. Redeemable shares on the option of the company. That is known as repurchase. Right? Repurchase. And the second concept is known as redemption. Redemption. Redemption means company can redeem the redeemable shares on the option of the company, on the option of the shareholder, on the date specified in the articles of association. Articles of association. Redemption. Right. So repurchase or redemption amounts to reduction. Reduction. Right. Now here company is going to repurchase the ordinary shares by 1%. Right. Redeemable shares, right, going to be redeemed on the option of the company by 2%. So altogether, there is a reduction of stated capital by 3%. That's all, right? You have to recognize that, right? Then now the agreement made with the creditor not to reduce the stated capital by 2% without having consent of the creditor. You have to first advise the company how company can reduce the stated. Only three things, right? Company has to pass a resolution, special resolution, public notice to be given. Because of the contract made with the creditor not to reduce the stated capital by 2%, then we have to get the consent of the creditor. Without getting the consent of the creditor, company cannot reduce the stated capital. Right? If it is reduced, then it will be treated as going. No value, no effect of that action. Right? Because the company has violated the provisions contained in the agreement with the creditor. Right? Therefore, company has to get the consent of the creditor. Three things we have to mention. Then apart from that, here Samartha, what about Samartha? Is against the reduction. Right? He is opposite to reduction. They ask what are the relief available to this person if the company has reduced the stated capital. Yes. What is the relief available to this shareholder? Single shareholder. If I were getting in, what is the relief available to this person? Single person who opposed to the resolution, right? Special resolution, with regard to reduction of stated capital. Yes. What is the relief available to this party? This second question is from minority protection. Right? We have discussed a shareholder, right, who has voted against the right special resolution or did not sign the written resolution in relation to reduction of stated capital. Reduction, three things we have to consider. Reduction of stated capital, amalgamation, and major transaction. Approving major transaction. Right? If a shareholder has opposed to that, then he is entitled to request the company to purchase his shares. That is known as minority buyout right. He can implement minority buyout right. Other than that, he can implement this right. He can request the company to purchase his shares. And first he must give notice, then company must agree to purchase and determine the price and inform me. He can object to the determined price. Then the company has to refer the matter to auditors. Then again, auditors decide the reasonable price of the shares. Then again, he can oppose to that. If he opposes to that, then he can apply to appoint fit and proper person to determine the fair and reasonable price of it. So this person can request the company to buy back his shares, require the company to purchase his shares. He can ask the company to purchase my shares. That is known as minority buyout. Actually, here he can implement the minority buyout right. Right? The only thing is, right, reduction. Special resolution passed, right, in relation to reduction, amalgamation, right? Special resolution passed by approving major transaction. Major transaction. Major transaction means the value of the transaction is greater than half of the assets of the company, right? Half of the assets of the company. That value is, the transaction value is greater than half of the assets of the company. Major transaction. Then any shareholder who has, right, who has voted against the resolution, right, or opposed to the resolution, or did not sign the written resolution, can request the government to purchase it, right? So that is known as minority buyout. So here, if the company reduces the stated capital, then as a single shareholder, this person can request the company to purchase his share. So that right is known as minority buyout. He can implement that right. That is the relief available to this person. What I am සම්බන්ධයෙන් පුළුවන්, right? ඔබ තමයි කියන්නේ. පැහැදිලි නේද? දේශී අතර මේ concept එක ඔලුවට දාගත්තාම අපි කියන්නේ ගාවක් ඇතුළේ තමයි ඒ වගේ කියන්නේ. Reduction means this one or this one. Redemption or repurchase. Amounts to reduction. So we have to consider what is the percentage of reduction. If it is within the provisions contained in the written agreement, then we have to get the consent of the creditor. Otherwise, it is void. Right? It is treated as invalid. And without getting the consent of the creditors, the company cannot reduce the stated capital. Right? More than 2%. So we are going to reduce the stated capital by 3%. Right? So yes, we have to get the consent. And as a single shareholder, this person, shareholder, is entitled to implement the minority buyout. Minority buyout. Right? Because of the reduction, he opposed to that, he can request the company to purchase it. Right? Right? You can do it, then I will parameter or effect it. Other concept to the market, Patanga redemption. Redemption, right? Company can redeem the redeemable shares on free option, right? Redemption. It is a repurchase. Repurchase means first one. Here, first one that buy back the ordinary shares and irredeemable shares. That is repurchase. Both of these amounts to reduction. Thirdly, we can consider the reduction. So the pattern is you take it for that claim in a city. Other than that, we are in there. We have our start to redemption, repurchase, both of these amounts to reduction. Reduction of stated capital. Reduction can craft the avatar. ආගතිනනේ ප්‍රාර්ථන අවතරණය. මේ උදාහරණයක් කියන්නේ අවතරණයක්. අඩු කරනවා ප්‍රාර්ථන. reduction. අපි මෙන්න yes. ආගත ඔතනින් අපි නතර කරමු.